Well, my next guest says that the economic logjam and Fed conundrum could be solved with the knight in shining armor, otherwise known as productivity. I want to bring in our Wealth Enhancement Group Senior Vice President Nicole Webb. Nicole, so you're saying that there are three ways to offset this crazy government debt issue. We've got inflation, taxation, and growth. And under growth, I guess, productivity comes into play. How would it work, though?
Yeah. So, one of the resounding themes that we hear from the bears, those just waiting and waiting for the recession to hit, a lot of it comes down to the government deficit and the cost of financing, and I can go on and on and on. And yet, when it comes to government debt, one of the ways that we offset it is through growth. And so when we think about the power behind the market this year, it's really been concentrated to those that we believe have this initial pop from the AI. What we haven't really seen yet is how we implement AI across business, just from a productivity landscape. And it's so easy, Charles, and I think for you and I who live in this, we can see it, whether it's in how we think about logistics and routes, or how we think about the movement of assets or product. All of this comes down to productivity metrics that require a lot of human capacity for mapping, and that underlying productivity revolution, we believe, is still there and could be a lot of power behind the market going forward.
Of course, Alan Greenspan was really big on the productivity miracle at that time, to your point. I did read something recently, that said that these great productivity numbers we had recently, which, by the way, saw unit labor costs come down when no one expected that, mostly because workers are working fewer hours. I mean, how much does that, you throw in AI, which will create, at least initially, some job displacement. How much of this productivity miracle is just a euphemism for fewer people working?
I actually don't see that. I see it as people using their creativity, the human element that it has not been yet programmable, in a different way. And so it actually all trickles down to efficiency. So we can already come up with content calendars as a simple example, by just leveraging what Google can already dispel to us or lead us to when we think about our consumer. And so, like what we saw out of earnings just 2 weeks ago from the mega tech companies is advertising has become a lot less expensive because you're able to connect with your consumer. That isn't that a bunch of people in creative roles have lost their jobs. And so I think it's more this absorption of, when we look at the stickiness of wages, when we look at kind of the lack of flexibility in the labor market today, and some of the systemic problems that creates, where AI or other technology applications free up and create room for margin growth. And so when we're thinking about top line or bottom line, I actually don't think it's a euphemism for all of us losing our jobs in the short term.
Good. You make me feel better. I'll have a much better weekend because of that. Hey, I can't let you go without talking to markets. I only have a minute to go, but you help people, of course, wealth enhancement, right? The 60-40 portfolio, I said last year, let's give up on it. The year before, I mean, this is your third year probably with the bond market down. But some are now saying it's safe to go back that route. What do you think?
I think there has always been power in the 60-40 portfolio. And in a time like now, when consensus is that it's dead and has been dead, is likely some of the best opportunity. What I want your viewers to hear is that the 60-40 portfolio is about creating constraint around volatility. But when inflation spikes, equities and bonds become highly correlated because there is pressure in both. And so what we have now is an environment where we believe there is some element of interest rate stability. And so that creates opportunity in equity markets and fixed income, and yet then the revival of the 60-40 portfolio.
All right. You explain things so well, Nicole. IKEA should probably think about giving you a gig, put together those things. Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Talk to you again real soon. All right, folks.
Yep, bye-bye.